안녕하세요. This is across Dadepo Beach. Okay, so across Dadepo Beach there is a mountain. When we go on top of the mountain, we can see this beautiful scenery. Okay, so anyway, it's still in Busan. Today we are going to study about 시. 시. 시 means respect to the subject. So when we show our respect to the subject, we put 시 behind the root verb. Okay. So what is our greeting in Korean language? Hi, 안녕하세요, 안녕하세요. So when you say 안녕하세, 세, there is 시. Can you see that? 시 there? So I will show you later. 자, 시 is pre-final endings. Okay, so what is pre-final endings? Behind root verb, we put pre-final endings and final endings. Okay, so she is pre-final endings. So what shall we put in front of she? We put root verb in front of she. How about behind she? So 안녕하 is root verb. 안녕하, safe. 안녕하 means safe. Okay, so 안녕하 is root verb, and behind she we need final endings. She is dark vowel, so we are going to put 어요. Okay, so she, as you see, she is pre-final ending. 안녕하 is a root verb, and final ending is 어요. 안녕하시어요. So now it really changes to 안녕하 plus she plus 어요. So she doesn't have 받침, so contraction, right? So she plus 샤라랑 세. Can you see she there? 네, one more time. She plus right? She plus This circle has no sound value, so we can omit. And then contraction. 따라다. 네, 세. You can see she there. 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. Okay. So she plus contraction. So what is the result? 세, right? But we also learned that 마시다. 마시 is a she dark vowel, so we put 어요. 마시어요 together. 마셔요. Okay, so 셔 is possible. 셔 is also possible. So 안녕하세요 and 안녕하셔요, both okay, but I think 99% we use the first one, 안녕하세요. Very rare, but we also can say 안녕하셔요 is possible, but the first one is correct. How about 마시다? 마세요 is wrong. We never say 마세요. For 마세요, 마셔요 is correct. Okay, 마셔요. And she, respect to the subject. Respect to the subject. 가요 and 가세요. What is difference? So for 가요 is a 가 plus 아요, right? 가세요 is a 가 plus 시 plus 어요. So what is difference? The subject is different. 남동생은 부산에 가요. Your younger male brother. Brother is male. Okay, younger brother. Your younger brother goes to Busan. Does your younger brother go to Busan? So younger brother, we don't need to show our respect to the younger brother. So 가요. And how about this? 선생님은 부산에 가세요. 선생님, teacher. So we need to show our respect to the teacher. That's why we put she there. 선생님은 부산에 가세요. Okay, now we can see the difference. What is difference 가요 and 가세요? The subject is different. So when we show our respect to the subject, we put 시, 가세요. And she with informal final endings. So 가 plus, when there's nothing, this is a place for the she. But when we don't say she, so this means no respect to the subject, right? For present tense, we don't need to put anything. And then because 가 is a bright vowel, so we put 가, contraction, 가. I go somewhere. Okay, so for when you say 가, I go, no respect to the subject because there is no she, and not polite to the listener because we don't put yo. Yo is polite to the listener. So there is no she and no yo means you have no respect to the subject and not polite to the listener. Okay, so if I say easily, the subject is younger than us and listener is also younger than us, then we can say ka. Ka. Next one, ka and noshi means no respect to the subject, and present when there's nothing, this is a present tense. Ayo, oh, there is yo, so this is polite to the listener. So ka ayo, contraction, kayo. So no respect to the subject and polite to the listener. How about ka plus she? Oh, now we put she. So this means we show our respect to the subject and present tense. And she is a dark vowel. That's why we put oyo. And she a contraction, 가세요. Right? So 가세요 means respect to the subject and polite to the listener. Of course, these three, 가, 가요, 가세요 means go, present tense, as you see. Okay? These are go and present tense. So I go, right? Or he goes. She goes is this one. 가, 가요, 가세요. What is difference? 가 and 가요 has no respect to the subject. And when you put yo, this is polite to the listener. Okay? So the subject and the listener are different. Okay? And she, formal, polite. So just like we put 아요, 어요. Now we are going to put formal, polite. 씁니다, 버니다. For 씁니다, 버니다, we have two forms. 씁니다, 버니다. What is difference? When it has 받침, we put 씁니다. no 받침, 버니다. How about she? She, no 받침. So we are going to choose 버니다. Okay. So she and when is because she has no 받침, we put 버니다. Okay. So this is wrong. We don't write this way. So this 버 can be 받침 like this. So 십니다, 십니다, and in pronunciation we pronounce 십니다. 버 changes to 머. 버 changes to 머. So this is nasalization. 십니다, 십니다. 십 plus 버니다 together 십니다. How about question? Question is 버니까. So 버 goes down like this. So question 십니까 and pronunciation 십니까. 십니까. Okay. So these are she plus formal polite. 십니다. Just a while ago it was informal polite. So 세요, right? 세요. But here this is 십니다. Okay. The meaning is the same. 세요 and 십니다. Difference is the background. So formality is different. So she and formal form. Yeah. 쓰 plus 쓰다. Write down. So this is a pre-final ending. When there is nothing, you show no respect to the subject. Okay. And 는 is present tense when the final ending is 가. So 쓰는가, this is the form when you write down. And for question, we use this form, 쓰는가. Okay, so 쓰는가 has no respect to the subject and there is no yo, so not polite to the listener. How about 쓰? Still no she. Still no she means no respect to the subject. And present tense and 버니까. 씁니까. So when you use 버니까, this is no respect to the subject but polite to the listener. Okay. 아요, 어요, 해요 is polite and 씁니까, 버니까 is also polite, right? So polite to the listener. And 쓰 plus she. Oh, now we put she. So respect to the subject. And when there's nothing, present tense and 버니까. So 쓰십니까, 쓰십니까, 쓰십니까. So respect to the subject and polite to the listener. Okay, these are formal form. Pre-final endings, it has its own order. Okay, so behind the root verb, the first pre-final ending is 시. Okay? How about the second? tense, like ot, or sometimes 는. And the third one is assumption. Okay? And then behind pre-final endings, we need final endings. Okay? So for example, 가다, 가, go. And respect to the subject, it's 시, right? And let's say this is a past tense. For past tense, she is dark vowel, so we are going to put up. And assumption is get. Do you know? 알겠어요, 모르겠어요, that get. Okay. 가시었get. And final ending, dark vowel, 어요. 가시었겠어요, 가셨겠어요. Okay. So when we combine together, 가셨겠어요. So when you say 가셨어요, 가셨어요, 이제 가 플러스 시 플러스 플러스 어요. 가시었어요. How about when we change the order of pre-final endings? So when we change the position of she and like this. 갔으세요. 가 plus at is a past tense and 으시 is respect to the subject. And this is wrong. Oh, I didn't put anything. The second one is wrong. Why that is wrong? Because the word order at is a tense and 으시 is respect to subject and the position has changed. So that's why the second is wrong. Okay. And two forms. Okay, as you see, 가세요, go, 오세요, come, 잡으세요, pick up, hold. hold 잡으세요. 섞으세요, mix, 도세요, turn around, 쓰세요, write down, 집으세요, pick up. So as you see, some of them are 세요 and some of them are 으세요. As you can easily expect, we have two forms, 으시 and 시. Okay. For she has two forms, 의시 and 시. What is difference? When there is circle, we need 받침, and no circle, no 받침. So here, these are pre-final endings. So when the root verb has 받침, 의시, root verb has no 받침, 시. Okay, and behind pre-final endings, what do we need? Maybe tense or when there is no tense means present, right? So here, let's say this is the present. So behind the pre-final endings, we have final endings. So here we are going to put informal polite. So she is dark vowel. So we need 어요 and she 어요. And she, when there, do you remember the second step? When there is 받침, no 받침. When there is no 받침, contraction, right? So she together, do you remember? 세요. So 으세요. 받침, 으세요. And no 받침, she together, 세요. So no 받침, 세요. 으세요, 세요. We have two forms, 으시 and 시. Okay. And so when you show our respect, we just put she behind the root verb, right? But there is some exception. For some verbs, when you put she, the root verb changes. So there are 5 exceptions like this. Okay, 자, 먹, 마시, eat, up. These are exceptions. Okay, so anyway, behind the she, what do we need? Final ending. So 어요 or 분이다, 십니다 or 세요, right? So here, when we put she behind the 자다, sleep, 자 changes to 주무시. Okay, 주무시다, 주무세요, sleep. Okay, 자 changes to 주무시. 먹, 있다, eat. When you put she behind the 먹, 의시 is wrong. So 먹 changes to 드시, 드. So 드시. 마시다, drink also. When we put she behind the 마시, 마시시? No. 마시 changes to 드. So the same, right? So 먹다, 드시다. 마시다, also 드시다. And 있다. For identification, we change to 계시다. How about 없다? 없다 is not or there is no. So 없다, 안 계시다. Okay, these 5 are exceptions, so you need to memorize. 자다 changes to 주무시다. 먹다 changes to 드시다. 마시다 changes to 뜻이다. 있다, 계시다. 없다, 안 계시다. So let's practice. 읽다, to read. Okay, informal, polite, and 노시, 읽어요. 읽어요. And with she, 읽 has 받침, so 으세요, right? So 읽으세요, 읽으세요. How about formal, polite? 읽 has 받침, 읽습니까, 읽습니까? And 읽 has 받침, so 으십니까, 읽으십니까, 읽으십니까? Do you read? 읽으십니까? 앉다, 앉다, 안, bright vowel, 아요, and 왼될 받침, no change, 앉아요, 앉아요, and 시, 안 has 받침, so 으세요, 앉으세요, 앉으세요, and 안 has 받침, 습니까 보니까, so 습니까, 앉습니까, and 시, 안 has 받침, so 으십니까, so 앉으십니까, 앉으십니까. 쓰다, write down. So whenever you meet you need to remember illusion. Is omitted before another vowel. Okay, so when meets other vowel, is omitted. So 쓰다, plus 어요, and is omitted, 써요. And plus 시, so 쓰세요. Here, is not omitted because meets 서. Okay, do you understand? When meets 서, it doesn't omit. Okay, we don't omit there, so 쓰세요. And and 보니까 씁니까, and 쓰십니까. 먹다, 먹, dark vowel, 먹어요. And when 먹 meets she, the root form changes. Do you remember? So 먹으세요, no, 드세요, 드시어요, 드세요. And 먹습니까, and she so changes again. So 드십니까. Okay, this is the last. 주다, 주 dark vowel, so 어요, 주어요, 줘요. So do you give, 줘요. And she, 주시어요, 주세요. 주세요 means give me, right? 주세요. Give me. Do you give me? Will you give me? 주세요. And 줍니까? And lastly, 주십니까? Okay. Yeah, it'll be too long, so I'll make it very simple. 언제 퇴근하니? When do you finish your work? 언제 퇴근하세요? So let's make sentence with 세요. Okay, 지금 뭐하다? 지금 뭐 하세요? So later you can pause a little and you can compose your own sentence, and then you can compare your answer with the correct answer here. 몇 시에 자다? 몇 시에? And when 자 meets 시, 자 changes to 주무시. So 주무세요. 몇 시에 주무세요? 어디에 있다? 어디에? When 있다, it meets 시, the root form changes. So 계세요, right? 계시다. 어디에 계세요? 안녕히 있다. Yeah, so when you leave, right? Safely stay or safely be there. Safely be there or safely stay. 안녕히 and be. Be there, be. So be 있다. 있다 means 시 계시다. So 안녕히 계세요. 네. 안녕히 가다. safely. 안녕히 가세요. 무슨 음식 좋아하세요? 무슨 음식을 좋아하 플러스 시 하세요. When do you get back home? Or hometown? 언제 고향에 돌아가세요? Okay. And 무엇 찾다? What are you looking for? 무엇을 받침, so 으세요. 찾으세요. 무엇을 찾으세요? What do you want to do? 무엇을 하고 받침, so 으세요. 무엇을 하고 싶으세요? What do you want to do? Okay. 네, 감사합니다. 안녕히 가세요. Goodbye.